With Austin, I just tried to get him in sports. I think he wanted to do it more, so it wasn't that hard. He was around sports all the time. He played soccer, really, and just basketball. I don't think he played anything else. And he was good. He liked playing. And so, other than that, I was just, take him to the game. I'd give him some advice, but Austin really wanted to do it more on his own. And I think parents have to respect that and, give them the room to be able to do it on their own and not try to coach the kid if they already have a coach.
Totally, yeah. And what was your experience growing up in like youth and high school, AAU basketball, just with the relationship with your parents?
Yeah, it was similar to kind of what he said. It was more, they just kind of gave me my space in my room, but at the same time, they were there, especially when I needed it. I've been fortunate enough to have someone who knows the game. There's a lot of people who don't have that, so I was fortunate to grow up with someone who knew the game, way more than I do, so anytime I needed advice, he would give it to me. I think a lot of times, even when he could have gave me advice on things, he would kind of just let me figure it out myself, and a lot of times, obviously, he wasn't, he was busy doing his job and stuff like that, but he'd always keep tabs on me and all my brothers and, my sister as well, so, I think the biggest thing is just having a relationship where you guys can just trust each other to, where you get to a point where you can let each other kind of grow. I think that's what he did with me. I think a lot of parents are sometimes just too involved, with kids these days, especially with AAU now and all this stuff. Parents are, all on the sidelines yelling and stuff. Sometimes that makes the kid feel, I think, pressured, and I think sometimes you have to let them grow and be who they naturally are going to be.
Did you have teammates when you were playing AAU that had parents like that?
Absolutely.
And did you?
I mean, you see it. Yeah, that's all you see these days is parents who are too involved or doing too much, and the kid won't say nothing because that's their parent. They naturally look up to the parent, but it makes them feel uncomfortable. So and they'd only tell their peers. So I heard it from plenty of my friends who would be like, man, my dad or my mom or my uncle or something. Like it's just too much. And it takes. To be honest, it takes the love away from the sport a lot of times. A lot of times a parent will push the kid so hard in that sport, eventually he doesn't want to play it anymore, Or he won't even play it just out of spite. Maybe he does want to play, but just out of spite of the parent, he won't do it anymore, or whoever it is that's pushed. So I think sometimes you got to have a balance. And obviously our relationship is a little different than most, father-son, just because we both are at this type of level, but it's the same all the way down as far as I think having that equal balance.
Yeah.
I've seen that where there's some kids out there that are really good. They don't want to play anymore, and they don't want to play because I think they have figured out the one area that he and his father get into it is over that sport, and so if you take the sport away, then maybe they can get along. And so I think parents have to be very careful there.